Hello, this is statistics lesson 3. In this I will discuss mean deviation and standard deviation. Now before moving to the standard deviation and mean deviation, let me discuss the one basic concept of mean, median, mode, their connection. Can I say mode is always equals to 3 median minus 2 mean. This is a standard formula that you need to remember. Sometime it's given to us that mode and median is given, or two of them is given, you need to calculate the third one. For example, the mean is given to you as, let's say, 15, and the median is given to you as 12. So can I say this would be equals to 36, 12 into 3, 36, and mean is 15, this would be 30. So different of 36 minus 30, that would be 6, would be the mode. It's not very important, but sometimes if the direct question comes, you can always solve the question. Now what is the range? Range of data. Range is the maximum minus minimum value. Maximum minus minimum value. And that is the range of the data. For example, 6, 10, 11, 15, 20, 29 and 30. So the range in this case, would be 30 minus 6, that is 24. Maximum value minus minimum value. Now what is the meaning of deviation? Mean deviation, standard deviation. These are the terms that used to measure the how much data deviates, or distance of data from average value, from average. How much the data vary from average, that is used to measure the deviation. There are two parameters to measure the deviation that are important from our aptitude exam point of view, that is mean deviation and standard deviation. Now mean deviation is equals to xi stands for individual observation, minus x bar. This x bar is the mean or average value. How individual value difference of individual values from average. Mode value you need to take, it means that minus plus would be plus, summation of that divided by n number of observation, that would be equals to mean deviation. For example, 2, 3, 10, 12 and 15. This is the data I have. Now first I will calculate the mean of this data. X bar, mean is sum divided by total number of observation. If you take the sum, this is 42 by 5. So mean is 5 8s are 40.4. 8.4 will be my answer. This is the average value. Now I need to calculate the mean deviation. You need to check how each value, each observation, this xi stand for individual value. We have to take the difference and their mode. Now difference, can I say that xi first value minus 8.4, take the mode of that, plus each value minus the average, 3 minus 8.4 plus 10 minus 8.4 plus 12 minus 8.4, mode, each of them is a mode, and then last 15 minus 8.4, the mode of each, and then you need to take the sum of this, you need to add. Now if you take this, will be minus 6.4, this will be minus 6.4 mode, plus 3 minus 8.4, this is minus 5.4, 10 minus 8.4, this is 1.6, positive value 1.6, this third number, then 12 minus 8.4, this is 3.6 mode, and this is 15 minus 8.4, this is 6.6. Now you need to add these numbers, and divide it by, this is your summation of mode xi minus x bar. I have subtracted mean or average from each of the values. I have taken the sum. This value is how much? If you take this, minus 6.4 is 6.4. You remember that in mode the value is always positive. 6.4 plus 5.4 plus 1.6 plus 3.6 plus 6.6, and you take the sum, this will be equals to, this is your 23.6. This is 23.6. Now what is the mean deviation? Mean deviation is your, can I say, this is equals to summation of xi minus x bar mod divided by number of observations. So this will be equals to 23.6. Number of observations are 5, and that will be your answer. Now 5 4 is 20. Now 5 7 is 35. 4 point and then 2. 4.72 is the mean deviation. What does this represent? This represent how much the data deviates from the average value. Data deviates from the average value by 4.72. Next is standard deviation. Standard deviation is xi minus x bar. You need to subtract average from each number, then square it, then add it, divided by n. That will be your standard deviation. For example, if you want to calculate standard deviation of this 3, 6, 8, 11, 14 and 18, I am just going to find the standard deviation. First I will find the average over x bar. This is equals to 3 plus 6 9 plus 8 17 plus 11 28 plus 14, this is 42 plus 18, this is 60 by 6. You can say that the average is 10 in this case. Now what I will do, I will subtract the average from each number and then square, then I will add. So can I say 3 minus 10 square plus 6 minus 10 square, subtract average from each number and then square. 8 minus 10 then square, 11 minus 10 then its square, and then 14 minus 10 square plus 18 minus 10 square, and then I am adding all these numbers. This will give me the numerator, this part. This will give me this numerator part. This part I am just calculating. Summation of xi minus x bar whole square. Can I say this will be equals to, if you sum this, this is equals to 3 minus 10 minus 7 square, that is 49. 6 minus 4 square is 16, minus 4 square is 16, then minus 2 square is 4, then 1 square is 1, then 40 minus 4 square is 16, then 80 minus 8 square is 64. If you add this, this is equals to 16 plus 64, 80, 80 plus 5, 85, 85 plus 16, this will give you 101, and plus 49, this is equals to 150. This is got is equals to 150. So you got 150. So the standard deviation would be, I'm just calculating here, standard deviation would be this numerator, you got 150 divided by total number of observations are 6 and its square root, and this will be 25 square root, and this is equals to 5. So 5 is your standard deviation. So standard deviation for this data is equals to 5. Now we just calculated 3, 6, 8, 11, 14 and 18. The standard deviation is 5. Now if you add some constant, 3 plus 2, 6 plus 2, same constant to each and every observation, what will happen? Very important. This is quite different from average. If you add same number to each value, then standard deviation will not change, it will remain 5. Same way, if you subtract same constant from each, let's say 3 minus k, 6 minus k, 8 minus k, 11 minus k, 14 minus k, 18 minus k. If you subtract the same number from each value, again the standard deviation will not change. This is quite different from average, as I have discussed about the average, how it changed with plus or minus. If it was a case of average, the average will increase or decrease by 2, but this is not true for standard deviation. Very important. In case of addition or subtraction of same constant from each value, standard deviation will not change. But in case of multiplication, if you multiplied each number by same constant, that is 3 into 4, 6 into 4, 8 into 4, 11 into 4, 14 into 4, 18 into 4. Now standard deviation will also multiplied by 4. This will be 5 into 4, 20. So standard deviation will also get multiplied by 4. Same is true for the division. So 3 by 5, 6 by 5, 8 by 5, 11 by 5, 14 by 5, 18 by 5. If you divide each number by 5, your standard deviation will also get divided by 5. 5 by 5 is equals to 1. So where the standard deviation changes? When you multiply it or divide. If you add or subtract the same number, it does not change. Now what kind of question can come? This is the question: x1 plus a by 5, x2 plus a by 5, xn plus a by 5. Their standard deviation is given to you as n. You need to find the standard deviation of x1, x2, x3 up to xn. Now what I will do? This is given to me standard deviation as n. Now I will multiply each term by 5. I will multiply each term by 5. What will happen? x1 plus a, x2 plus a, dash 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 xn plus a. Now if you multiplied each term by 5, the standard deviation will also get multiplied by 5. This will be equals to 5n. That is the standard deviation of this. Now subtract a from each and every term. Subtract a. This is x1, x2 and dash 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 xn. If you subtract a from each term, standard deviation does not change. As I told you, in case of addition and subtraction of same constant from each value, standard deviation remains same, and this will be 5n. So answer would be standard deviation of x1, the standard deviation of x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus dash 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 this xn, this will be equals to 5n. Very important question. These kind of question can come in your exam. Now what is variance? Whenever you need to calculate the variance, variance is always equals to standard deviation square. So if I need to calculate the variance of x1, x2 dash 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 xn, in this case the variance would be simply, this is 5n square. So variance is standard deviation square. Now over the practical application of standard deviation. Now this is the, let's say, stock price of company A. This is the stock price of company A and this is the stock price of company B. Now which data has standard deviation? As I told you, deviation means how the other values vary from the average value. Now in this case, the standard deviation will be, let's say, x, standard deviation is x, and in this case standard deviation is equal to, let's say, y. Which will be more? So y will definitely be more than x. Here you can see that average will be somewhere here. This is, let's say, this will be the average value. Now you can see that there is too much deviation from the average. Sometimes the data goes much above the average, sometimes it comes much below the average. So there is quite variation in the data. So standard deviation y will be much more than the standard deviation x. Here you can see that there is much less deviation from the average value. So that is a basic meaning, practical meaning of standard deviation. So that was all about this lesson. Thank you.